tell me what the concern is with your dad. What's going on with him about mobility or whatever?
He doesn't have a lot of strength. His legs are very weak,
Okay.
so he uses a walker mostly, very slow. But I mean, his legs get tired, and he has a hard time lifting himself up out of bed. And so I could see that lifting oneself out of the tub could be difficult, even if it's only a sort of sideways maneuver. And he has trouble with steps. And so depending on how much the step in is into a bathtub is, that could be a problem too.
Yep, I get it. Okay. Well, that makes sense to kind of try to test that. The parameters around the accessibility are, and I've got hundreds of customers that are in wheelchairs, but they can still use a walk-in tub. But to get into a walk-in tub, and that's what it is. That's why we call it. It's basically a walk-in tub. What that means is the bather needs to be able to get alongside the tub. Of course, it has an inward swinging door, so the door's out of the way. They need to be able to shift their weight from one foot to the other and basically take one step. So if he can lift his feet the height of a stair step, which is 7 inches, and shift his weight from one foot to the other, he should be able to use a walk-in tub. Now, sometimes that means with assistance, meaning we've got grab bars and support. Like he's using a walker now to give him stability and support as he moves around, and we'd want to do the same thing in the environment around the tub so that he could brace himself or whatever. And maybe, some people require a caregiver, somebody to kind of help them through that process. But as long as they can make that step, and he would certainly be able to figure that out if he came to take a look at my tub, and seat himself, then he's going to be fine. Now, there are integrated grab bars within the tub, and we can put support anywhere around the environment of the tub where they may need it to help him. But again, if you're concerned about that, then it's definitely worth trying to check it out, I think. The other consideration is I have another line of shelves, I call them the Heron line, that are wheelchair accessible tubs. These are shelves that have an outward swinging door. They are specifically intended for people with more severe mobility restrictions. Probably sounds like, at least at this point, more severe than your dad. But if somebody's in a wheelchair, if you sort of visualize the way somebody gets into a car, the door swings out, the seat's exposed. We can bring the wheelchair alongside the tub and theoretically, ideally, help transfer that person from the chair onto the bench inside the tub. Then you bring their legs in, get the chair out of the way, and you close the door, and they're good to go. The problem with those shelves is they require more space in the bathroom. Anytime we've got an outward swinging door, if somebody does need a wheelchair in the environment, we need to make sure the door can swing far enough out of the way. You can get the chair up alongside the seat. These are all considerations. How old are your parents, may I ask?
They're 83.
Okay. All right. And otherwise, are they in pretty good health?
Yeah, my mom is starting to get some dementia.
Okay.
But she's actually very fit.
All right. Well, and I don't know, by the way, how did you find me?
My son and I Googled, I thought we would be able to just go to like Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere and just see some of these so I could have my dad see, can you sit in one of these? Can you get out of one of these? Right. But there aren't any anywhere. And so we started looking at more specialty stuff, and that is how your name came up.
Okay.
My concern before anything else is that my dad can actually physically see how would this actually work. Right. And then I would want something that would continue to work if his health declined and he was even less, had less leg strength and arm strength.
Right. And there's um, two ways we can go with this. One is I can come out and visit with it because you're local. I can come. 90% of the time I'm dealing with people scattered all over the country, and I can't do that. But since they're in, if it would help, I'm more than happy to come out and meet them. Um, then I can do whatever I can to um, get them access to look at a tub. You know, uh, my very first customer, Phyllis Bennett, 20 years ago, she would love to have your parents come look at her tub. In fact, she's the one who started the whole ambassador. She's the only reason I got in the business, really, because she bought one of those tubs like my dad did, and I do a lot of public speaking. I've got a radio show called Being Young at Any Age. I'm all about longevity and being healthy and not consuming healthcare as we age and trying to be as vibrant and happy as we can be as we get older. And she saw me. I gave a speech out at her community, Heather Gardens, and she came up to me after the talk and said, I bought one of those Safe Step tubs and I paid 20 grand for it, and I want my money back. It's a piece of garbage and they're ignoring me. And she goes, "You're a lawyer. I want you to sue them." And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute, Phyllis. Okay, I may be a lawyer, but I don't practice anymore. I can refer you to somebody." But anyway, the bottom line is I gave her some guidance and I helped her get her money back. But these guys, it's just too crazy to make up. They came back, they took the tub out, they gave her her money back, and they left. And she going, "Wait a minute, aren't you going to replace my tub?" And they're saying, "Lady, you wanted your money back. You wanted us to take our tub back. That's what we're doing." She goes, "Georgia, I have no bathtub." They let me. You've got to help me. And I'm like, "What?" Anyway, that's how it all started. Is I literally had to import a shell for her out of England um, to get her taken care of, and then she just starts talking to all her friends, and they, this was 2004, September 2005. I'm sorry, and then by the end of the year, I've got 6 customers just because they're all her bridge partners or they're in the, you know what I mean? It was
Mm-hmm.
all people talking. And can your dad make it up a flight of stairs?
Um, just.
Yeah. Well, that's an it because my tub is on the second floor, so it's up a flight of stairs. If that's really important to your parents and my home won't work for them, they don't feel like coming to my house, then I will see what I can do to find a way that they can see a tub. I understand your dad has some fairly restricted mobility issues. How about your mom? Is she
No,
more
she doesn't have any.
okay? What about body size? Are either one of them particularly large or tall or
Not particularly.
so
My
average?
dad's just shy of 200 pounds.
Oh, okay. And your mom's
She's
not.
like just shy of 100 pounds.
Oh, good grief. Okay. So, what that says to me, Kathy, is my flagship shell I call the Golden Swan. It's the shell that fits 80% of the people out there. It's the right shell. And what makes it the right shell? Of course, they can get into it with or without assistance. But then once they're in it, they have the ability to do deep soaks. They can get the water over their shoulders. They can relax. They can get the benefit of the medical hydrotherapy, which is truly life altering for folks. Um, so I'm guessing that the Golden Swan would be the right shell for them based on that. Um, the only difference between the Golden Swan and my shell is that my shell's a little bit deeper, but they can tell very easily, how that Golden Swan shell is going to work for them. One thing I can do, I do have a lot of videos. I have an hour-long webinar. Not that you have to, spend an hour to get the information you need, but that webinar, it doesn't sell walk-in tubs. It's about, what makes bathrooms so dangerous. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the tub. It's, uh, area rugs and lighting and no,
Sure.
towel bars and, whatever, all that kind. Showers. We have all these people rushing into showers because, yeah, I can get in there, but that doesn't mean I'm safe while I'm in there. And showers are very unstable and very dangerous. So I'm trying to, most people just say, well, if I can't get out of the tub, then I got to go to a shower. And that really is kind of the shift in thinking that at some point needs to take place here, and that is, well, the way I've been bathing may not be the safe way, and it may not be the way
Mm-hmm.
that's going to help me for the rest of my life. And if I can get into a walk-in bathtub, our shells, you can't fall in and you can't fall out. I mean, I bathe every day. Four days a week I do therapies, and 3 days a week I shower. But I don't. I've got a full regular shower right next to my tub. I used to go in there, but I don't anymore. I mean, a couple of years ago, I almost fell in the shower. And I'm like, what am I doing? But you can do both of these, hygiene processes in the walk-in tub safely and
Mm-hmm.
easily. But probably the biggest kind of force multiplier, if you will, or added value is the medical hydrotherapy. I mean, we can put a natural healing. I've trademarked medical hydrotherapy. Their doctors will prescribe it for them. It's medically appropriate, but it helps with all of these age-related and degenerative health conditions that we're all dealing with. And it's a non-aggressive whole body massage. It's not jacuzzi, hot tub, water jetted systems that, are filthy, and and I've got videos on that. I've got one called the Dirty Little Secret or Filthy Secret, something like that. But I'm helping because all the other walk-in tub companies, they put water jets on their tub. And I found out pretty early that's not a good thing. So this medical hydrotherapy is a non-aggressive whole body massage. You can adjust the temperature where you want it, warm, cool, hot, cold, whatever that is to help your healing. And then you get this natural, massage, non-aggressive massage process that what really makes it medically the temperature's important, stimulating circulation's important, stimulating neurological processes is important, but the real medical value add comes when I'm in there for 5 minutes or more. I stimulate my lymphatic system. And that's the part of our body that helps flush out. I mean, your parents, we're just full of low grade inflammation in our joints, our tissues. And, that's why we have all these different age related type conditions, and they're degenerative because we're now discovering they're all pretty much inflammation based. Well, if I can move my body, if I can jog 5 miles or, play pickleball or something like that, I can sweat and I can flush and I can help get this stuff out. But, I was able to help my dad make it to 102, and he did a medical hydrotherapy every day. There's no way, there's no way he could move his body enough, to stimulate a sweat without putting himself at physical risk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, the health side of it really is, it's the bigger value added over time, but it's also, something that a lot of folks, and in particular boomers and seniors, aren't really necessarily thinking about yet. We haven't experienced that. It's kind of a new idea. But once you do, then it's like it's a whole new world. It helps. So what do you think? What would you like me to do from here?
Well, let me, with what you've told me, let me go back and talk with them about what do they want to do here.
Whatever's best for your parents and you. I'm not going to push you into something that's only good for me and not good for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's what my brand is all about. It's if I can't earn your trust and deserve it, then I don't even want to be in this business. And so that's that.